We are aware that the road of technological advancement isn't always clear-cut when we consider the future of civilization. Naturally, it can be challenging to imagine anything that is further along or more advanced than us. Thought has been devoted to it by some of our brightest minds. And according to one John D. Barrow, the secret is to try to control ever smaller worlds. Welcome to Zeey. And today we're responding to the fascinating query, what if humanity belonged to a Type 3- civilization? Do you require answers to the important queries? Then why not join Zeey to see more videos like this one there and ring the bell for more inspiring material? The Kardashev scale is undoubtedly the most well-known scale used to measure advanced civilizations. It was created as a tool for measuring and quantifying the potential level of development for any culture. It has thus developed into a powerful tool when we think about the possibility of extraterrestrial life. We can improve our ability to locate them in space by forecasting the potential technological prowess of various levels or types. The scale's inventor, Nikolai Kardashev, concentrated on energy potential. A Type 1 can use all the energy on its home planet. A Type 2 can use all the energy in their home star system. A Type 3 may use all the energy in their home galaxy, and so on for Types 4, 5, and so forth, the universe, the multiverse, etc. The Kardashev scale does have some disadvantages, despite how well-liked it is. It does not, for instance, apply equally to all potential groups, i.e., depending on their unique sizes, orbits, distances from stars, and other factors, planets in the same star system will all reach Type 1 at various periods. However, the requirements for all those planets to achieve Type 2 remain the same. There has also been criticism of the Kardashev scale's seeming rigidity, as it would seem that the levels would naturally mix in real life. For example, a civilization might utilize certain Type 2 technologies before fully developing into even a Type 1 civilization. Once more, the route of technical advancement is not always clear-cut. As a result, a variety of scales have been proposed as replacements. For example, the well-known physicist Carl Sagan came up with a new model based on the informational capacity of each given society. And Sagan graded his scale, which is maybe more subtle, from A to Z. But in this situation, humanity has already progressed through half of Sagan's alphabet. So maybe it's too constrained. In other places, science fiction writer Arthur C. Clarke also devised a scale depending on the types of technology that a people can use, progressing from stone to metal and so on. However, no scholarly investigation using the Kardashev scale in the real world has ever been able to match Clarke's model. John Barrow's scale, however, has made that discovery possible. An essentially reverse Kardashev scale with civilizations classified according on how small an object they can handle was proposed by renowned astrophysicist Barrow. The micro-dimensional scale, as its name suggests, gauges improvement in typeless categories. A Type 1-, for instance, is like base camp. It can influence the world, as we perceive it, by building structures and digging tunnels, whereas a Type 2- digs deeper into the invisible to influence genes and biological systems. A Type 3- can fundamentally alter molecules, which is the topic of today's discussion. Again, categorizing any civilization into one of these groups is challenging, especially when it comes to humanity. Barrow's Type 1- has already been clearly passed, but as of right now, none of the subsequent types have been fully achieved. Without fully mastering either, we have some similarities to both a Type 2 and a Type 3-. Being a full Type 3- would still effectively entail performing science fiction-only feats. For instance, a Type 3- human would have perfected gene editing to the point where it could virtually customize humans and any other biological species. DNA and genetic code can be corrected, changed, or even rewritten. We would be immune to the majority of serious illnesses and malignancies, have efficient treatments for anything that did survive, and be prepared with quick fixes whenever a new pathogen or germ arrived. Type 3- people, on the other hand, would probably be partially cyborgs, with modern artificial body components in place of archaic biological ones. The human talents of today will have been improved, giving us what the present world views as superpowers to some extent. The route to things like superstrength through modified skeletons or superintelligence through specially formulated cerebral stimulants is short, with the most fundamental components of our own bodies under review and vulnerable to reinterpretation. In the long-promised world of designer babies, parents can completely personalize the way their child will look and act. It's also a world where it should be easy to bring back extinct animals, therefore a Type 3- society might be able to create a theme park along the lines of Jurassic Park. However, a Type 3- would possess more than simply a command of biology. Despite not yet being able to control individual atoms, their species is given unlimited opportunities by their overall molecular control. Just think of temperature reality, for instance. Since molecules' mobility determines temperature, altering their rate would allow you to accurately alter the environment. For this society, one of the essential daily conditions for comfortable living is completely customizable. We can imagine it by imagining that the air conditioning systems of today are all uniformly replaced with molecular control panels on a smaller, less general, home-by-home basis, gadgets that have been microdimensionally enhanced to allow the user to interact with the room's molecules, extracting or supplying heat as needed. If this technology is combined with biological improvements, the machines may even become unnecessary. Has a Type 3- that can just conjure up life through molecular manipulation, in this example, normal temperature. The Barrow scale is strongly focused towards space travel, even though it may not be as overtly expansionist as the Kardashev scale. It suggests various potential approaches to a group's interplanetary objectives. All eyes are on Mars for modern humanity. However, we are aware that it is uninhabitable due to a number of factors, including the scarcity of abundant water and breathing air. However, if you are Type 3-, you can simply manufacture and manipulate the greenhouse gases required to initiate the formation of water and atmosphere, thus they aren't huge issues. Another illustration of how a Type 3- might successfully alter important environmental factors. When they go to a place where the air isn't instantly breathable, they can move the molecules about until it is. If the water is not immediately fit for drinking, they can filter and purify it until it is completely safe for their health. The way that so many companies operate would alter if we had the power to both manipulate genes and make new materials from molecules. Construction and building work, for instance, would undergo a revolution thanks to specially produced unbreakable materials that are as robust, long-lasting, light, and effective as possible. Perhaps the natural environment will serve as inspiration in this case. Due to its extraordinary strength, with homes and buildings fashioned of something akin to spider silk, for example. A similar strategy might be applied elsewhere, in healthcare settings where nature serves as another source of inspiration. Since algae, debris, and even germs are ideally built to be repelled by shark skin, Type 3- doctors and healers may use that knowledge to develop a technology or physical augmentation to aid them in their work. Instead of working, a Type 3- may perhaps create its own gills to live underwater or alter its eyes to more closely resemble those of the mantis shrimp, which are renowned for processing many times more colors than a human eyeball. You could alter your body, or the wall, for example, if you wish to climb walls. You could conceivably use molecules to push yourself upwards, allowing you to essentially walk on air, even if you wish to float or fly. Food, like water, may be managed and controlled at the molecular level, ensuring that only the healthiest and tastiest meals are consumed at all times. There could be drawbacks. A Type 3- society ought to be equal in theory, but what if it isn't? What if certain people can control food and water but not others? What happens if the capacity to alter reality's molecular foundation remains untapped indefinitely? A Type 3- might require some sort of specialized governance or policing. But would that eliminate the freedom on which this imagined future is based? For the time being, we can state that John Barrow did not stop at Type 3-. He believed that eventually, organizations could learn to rule even smaller planets. When you reach Type 4-, you can control atoms. When you reach Type 5-, you can control the nucleus of an atom. When you reach Type 6, you can control elementary particles like quarks. And there is even an Omega civilization that has control over the very structure of spacetime. Consequently, there would still be objectives and advancements to be made on Barrow's third rung. Even if the world is still imperfect, we will have made great strides in the area of technology. And if humanity were a Type 3- civilization, that is what would occur. How do you feel? Do you think we missed anything? Check out other additional Zeey videos, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe or ring the bell to receive our most recent material.